We are in Tenerife at a 5-star resort, and you best believe I'm training. So let me show you the gym, and the views that we have is amazing.
As far as hotel gyms go, this was pretty spectacular. Like, the view was amazing. And not only that, it did have pin load machine weights here. So you have one for every muscle group, so you're getting a full body session in here, not a bother. And if you're coming on holiday to do some cardio, which is pretty crazy in this heat, but they did have a good cardio section. You'll see it down here in the back. A bunch of cross trainers and then a load of spin bikes. I used to teach spin, and this would have been my ideal setting to teach a spin class. Look at that backdrop. It was really nice between sets to just walk out here on your rest period and have a look at that view before you go back in for your next set. If I was to build a home gym, I'd want it on a location like this. Big dreams. But here is the free weight section. Not great, as you can see, just one rack of benches, one rack of weights and one bench. So guys, a rule of thumb to follow when training: you want to hit every muscle group at least twice a week in order to see results. So if I'm only getting 2 days in this gym here on holidays, I want to do a full body workout. Started with an incline bench, then we moved on to some pull-ups. This is an area I'm trying to improve recently, is doing pull-ups. So you want to put these, start your session when you're more fresh, have more energy, so you're going to get more out of the exercise. After that then we moved on to lateral raises with the dumbbells, looking out at the sun. Beautiful, feeling good here, nice and warm, getting a pump on. Onto our cable flies then, setting up around nipple height, coming in, nice tight squeeze and a big stretch out at the back. After our cable flies then we moved on to a seated chest supported row, pulling back, squeezing the shoulder blades together, and then nice, slow and controlled, letting the weights back down. You want to train close to failure on every exercise. That way you know you're getting enough stimulus into the muscle. There's no point lashing out a lot of reps and having many more that you can do. Push yourself to failure. That's how you're going to grow. After our shoulder press down, we moved on to the biceps. This is a good little workout to get done before heading down to the pool, because you get a nice pump. You've done your chest, shoulders, arms and back, so we've hit every muscle group on the upper body. I didn't train legs as I was planning to go on a run, but unfortunately, I won't lie to you, that didn't happen. We didn't go run, but we did stick to our gym plan. We got 2-3 days in here of full body workouts. It kept us ticking over until we got home, and when we got home I got back to running. It was just way too hot, and you don't want to spend your holiday in the gym, so it's just in and out, getting a quick 45-minute session in before we went off about the rest of our day. So the first excursion that we had booked for this holiday was renting a dune buggy and going up to the highest peak in Spain. This was Mount Teide. It was an active volcano, or is an active volcano. The company picked us up in this little minibus here, and there was a group of people in the back from other hotels that were doing it as well. And when I jumped in I said hello, but no one answered, so it was a bit awkward.
What's happening?
So we've just arrived at our location to collect our buggies and get signed in and get our little safety briefing and give our license. We got to look at the buggies here. These little orange 2-seater buggies is what we were going up in. There was one group of 4, so they got a 4-seater buggy. Got in, got our little briefing of how to drive it.
We're driving up a volcano in a buggy. It's the highest peak in Spain.
And finally we are out on the road. Because I'm not going to lie, back there it was a bit of a mess. We were waiting for about 45 minutes. The guy that was leading our group in his Jeep had drove in, moved all our cars out in front of his car, and then realised that he'd blocked himself in. So then we all had to move our cars again for him to get out in front of us so we could follow him up to the mountain. So that was a bit of messing. And only about 10 minutes into the trip, I looked behind us and the 2 cars that were meant to be following us were nowhere to be seen. So after driving another few minutes, we ended up having to pull in because the cars behind us weren't behind us. Issue number 2, the 4-seater buggy had broke down, and the spare buggy he brought with him only had 2 seats.
Girls behind us following the convoy are after getting lost, so we had to pull in, stop and wait. The guy leading it wanted to take her buggy to go back and find them, but one car is after pulling up or waiting on the other route. So, come in. Right, so the buggy broke down. They're after getting a second one, but there's 4 of them, and the buggy they got is only a 2-seater, so they're gonna have to go up in the car with the guide, and then they're gonna swap over, and the other 2 are gonna drive back down, and I think they're getting half their money back. Action shot running after the fucking thing. Oh god. Right.
Are we ready?
Hello.
So obviously the group of people that rented the 4-seater buggy, only 2 of them could drive up, and the other 2 went in the Jeep with the guide, and then they swapped on the way back down, and they were offered half their money back. The drive up was beautiful, and we had no issues with our buggy, thankfully. So this so far was definitely the highlight of the trip. I really enjoyed this. The wind blowing, blue skies, sun in the background, driving along. We were on a time constraint trying to make it up for the sunset, so with all the mishaps that we've had so far, we were hoping not to have any more, and that we could make it up in time to watch the sunset, because that was the whole point of the trip. It was a sunset buggy trip. So this was our first stop off. The guide explained that he's a photographer, has a professional camera, and he'd take all our pictures and then send them on to us after we pay him. So we were at a lovely backdrop here, and everyone was in good spirits. He was filling us in on the mountain itself, telling us how it's the highest peak in Spain and it's an active volcano. He was also telling us facts like the Fast and Furious, Star Wars, Shawshank Redemption, films like this were filmed here. Quotes to do this trip were coming in at 190, 200 euro was the rough average price that we were quoted, and this excursion quoted us 160, so that's how much we paid to do this trip. So if you are looking to do it in Tenerife, that was the prices that we were getting quoted, from 160 up to 200. Standing on an active volcano after driving up in the buggies, and we stopped off to get some photos there with the mountain in the background. This is the spot we pulled in at to watch the sunset behind the clouds and the mountain there. I have to say, for a landscape and a view, this was pretty amazing to sit and watch on top of a volcano, looking out at that beautiful view. This guy was taking all our photos, and they looked well on the camera. We've stopped off now to watch the sunset, driving down in the buggy. Amazing experience. You're driving over a volcano, and you're up in the clouds, looking at the sun setting behind you. As you can hear, everybody's laughing in the background. We are all on high spirits after doing this drive. After watching the sunset, we started driving back down to the mountain, and let me give you a top tip. It does get cold on the way back down. It's quite windy in the car, so I would bring a little windbreaker, a little jacket with you to keep you warm. The guy that was doing the guide did have 1 or 2 jackets, and he handed them out. But as you can see, here's another issue we ran into. One of the cars kept running out of fuel. This is something you'd think would have been all done before we arrived, that the cars would have full fuel, but we still had to stop a lot on the way back down, but eventually we got sorted. Oh yeah, remember the professional photos? So the guy texted us the next morning, his SD card broke and we have no photos. We did get a refund, but obviously we would have liked to have the photos. I'll give you guys a look at the hotel room. So we stayed in the Dreams Garden Tenerife. I would go back. I did rate this hotel. It was nice. We had a small little balcony with a sea view, which was quite nice. And then the pool was lovely. The room, as you can see, was big, spacious, modern, nice and clean. Big shower, everything that you want from a hotel. And I got extra bonus points because the morning of my birthday, without knowing or asking, they just woke me up with a bottle of champagne to celebrate my birthday. So that was a really cool touch, and I just thanks for that. Dreams Garden, yeah, Tenerife. So if you're looking to go somewhere, I would recommend this place. The second excursion that we done, guys, was went to the monkey park. I think this was €10 a ticket, and you buy food for the monkeys that were like €3. So for 2 of us, it was 26 quid. One of the best things I've ever done in my life. Honestly, I wasn't expecting to enjoy this so much, but I was walking around inside an enclosure with monkeys right there at me feet, coming up, and I was hand feeding monkeys. I had a monkey jump on my shoulder. It was incredible. And there was other animals there as well, a lot of birds, little guinea pigs, tortoises, a good few animals. There was bigger monkeys then inside enclosures that you couldn't go into. Obviously you wouldn't want to be going in, the things probably kill you. But there was ones that you could go into and you're in with the monkeys. And these little monkeys are running around. Like, honestly, I couldn't believe this. It was so cool. And when feeding the monkeys, you'd put out the food and they'd come up. It'd take them a few minutes to see if they were sure of it or not. And then when they start taking the food, they were grabbing handfuls of it. And they were actually throwing away the food they didn't like and only picking out that the food that they did like, which was like corn and peas. They were picking out the apples and throwing them on the ground, but they were eating all the corn and peas. It was brilliant. If you're going to Tenerife, especially if you have kids, but even if you don't, this number one on the list. Make sure you come here, and all the money that you pay towards this place goes back into the animals. So they're trying to preserve animals here, so they don't have animals just for the sake of having them for people to come see them. They're saving animals here, and that's why they have them. But honestly, could not recommend this place enough. It was insane. I really enjoyed it.
He just looks at what he doesn't want. You're starving.
100% would recommend coming to the animal park. It's actually called the monkey park, but they have obviously birds, monkeys, lemurs, loads. The monkeys getting your shoulders. So guys, that is a wrap. We are having our last meal before we catch our flight home. Hopefully you picked up some tips if you are heading to Tenerife. And if you did like this vlog style video, please make sure to like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And I'll come back with even bigger and better ones to follow.